What up? It's your boy T Reaction to Today's Music Money. About to do the second video of the DJ Max video, and this is the classic we're gonna go as well too. And this is from Mike Dunn with the house classic that was played all over as well too. That I do recognize by name and a little by ear. Once I hear that, I might recognize it more. It's God Made Me Phunky, spelled with Phunky. But anyway, we want to check out the story behind this classic house, this house classic right here. So without further ado, that hit the clubs in the 90s, I'm assuming. Let's get it.
It's the craziest thing of how God Made Me Phunky happened. Because God Made Me Phunky wasn't supposed to happen.
Oh.
Yeah, you know, God made me funky. And I'm just glad he made me that way.
It's your boy Mike Dunn. You know who it is. It's the one that God made funky. And this is the story. My introduction to music started as a kid. I always had music around the house with my mom, my dad. My dad was a little more eclectic. He was into jazz, rock, Motown sound. And my mom was more into funk, dance, disco. But I gravitated more to my mom because I was the only boy out of 6 kids, had 5 sisters, so I was always up under my mom. It was a record store up under the L that she would go to every Friday and ask the lady.
Do a quick look up, and he's part of their the OG home of house, which is Chicago, so yes.
Lady, what record she won, what was out new, play them for my mom. My mom be like, no, I don't like that one. Yeah, I like that one. Mm-hmm. And then she would ask, do you got the long version, the disco version?
Okay.
And lady was like, no disco version for this, but there was one time I remember she did have a long version, and it was Anita Ward, Ring My Bell. And my mom bought the long version, bring it home. So my dad had his collection where he wouldn't let me touch none of his records or none of his stuff. So I had to play stuff when he would go to work, sneaking his records, because we had some of the best high fidelity system in projects. I was a good high school athlete, so I thought I was gonna go college and pros and be either a football player or a baseball player. So when I moved my grandma, I went to high school from there, and she was trying to get me to get in music class and play piano, and I took it for a couple classes. I like, man, I'm gonna be a star athlete. I ain't gonna play none of that, and look what I'm doing. Right. I ended up doing what she saw me doing.
Hey, grandparents, the grandparents, mama or grandparents, they know. They know. They see it in you. They see the potential. You know what I mean? Go with it.
What's up, y'all? It's Mike Dunn, you know, the funky one still. Mike Dunn, the Pete Gorilla, the track Gorilla, whatever you wanna, you know what I'm saying, however you wanna put it down.
God Made Me Phunky wasn't supposed to happen. My friend who came here from Italy, his name was Mauricio Clemente. Mauricio was coming here to Chicago and New York to look for records for his label, which was Night Stuff. So he picked out a couple tracks for me. When he got back to Italy, he was like, Mike, I need another track to make it an EP. Because if people remember, the original release of God Made Me Phunky was a B-side track. It wasn't the A-side track. The A-side track was Welcome to the Club. Okay. So in order to get the rest of my money that he was supposed to pay me, I had to do an additional track. So I went in there and just threw together God Made Me Phunky. Okay. And just went in there and started talking like I usually do, just talking on the mic, and nothing was written down. I was just trying to hurry up and get it done. Now let me explain. The sample in it is off, that dun, dun, dun. But when I put it in key, it didn't sound the same. Wow. It changed something. So I left it out of key because it felt good. It didn't sound good, but it felt good. Mm-hmm. I sent them, he pressed it up, and he gave it to Tony Humphries.
Okay.
Tony Humphries flipped it on the B-side, and played God Made Me Funky. Mauricio called me back like Tony Humphries played it. That's how Mauricio talks. Tony Humphries played the track, Mike. God Made Me Funky. It said they're going crazy for the track. They're going crazy. All hail and respect to him because Tony Humphrey was the one who broke God Made Me Funky, and it is what it is.
You know it's time to get up for the downstroke. Ain't no joke.
I was a hip hop kid. If you hear all my earlier tracks, they weren't made with 909. They were either made with the 606 or the 808.
Wow.
We used to borrow Marshall Jefferson's 808 drum machine to make tracks. And so MJ would call us and ask us for his drum machine back.
MJ.
And I would say Hugo got it. When he called Hugo would say Mike got it. But we were just prolonging it so we can get all our tracks done before we gave it back to him because he wanted it back so early. And then eventually I had got one, but the story of it goes that it was in Amondo's car and he was going to the music box and they said the car got broken into.
Damn.
And they took my drum machine. So what I did was I went in, I'm thinking Steve said that, but they took my machine, just played like it. That's why if you hear Work That Motherfucker, the one that I did, not the one that Steve did, you'll hear it pause and it'll go, stop, wrong track, yeah. And the next time you'll think about it. That was me talking to Steve Poindexter. Like next time you try to take something from me, you gonna think about it. Cause now I'm taking Work That Motherfucker. Never told that story before, but
wow.
it is what it is. Chicago's like a melting pot, man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We got a little bit of everything in us. And we it's just like gumbo. So we put all that together, man. It's just a whole different thing with us. God Made Me Funky was a one-take thing. I told you I was trying to hurry up and get that track done so I can get my money. I don't rehearse. I don't write nothing down. Like, what would James Brown do? Turn on the mic, go in the booth, and just say anything that comes to his head. It's the tone and the delivery what makes it sound good.
God made me funky, and I'm just glad he made me that way. Cause you gotta get ready.
I know the clubs was jumping with this joint, though, man. I like the piano. Always loved the piano bass house music, man. Whew. The piano and keys and house music always is near dear to the heart, man.
To growing up in the house with my mom, she was into more of the funk stuff. I just knew I liked all the stuff James Brown did. And the reason I said George Clinton, because my mom's friend took me to a concert, Funkadelics and all them came here to Chicago, and they were playing at the amphitheater, and I saw the spaceship come down and land on the stage, and George Clinton getting out of it. It just blew my mind as a kid. So I was always into the funk stuff. I made the record, so I was playing the record before it even came out. I was DJing at the warehouse, 738 West Randolph. A lot of the Masons would party at the warehouse. So when they heard God Made Me Funky, they actually thought I was talking to them because I was saying, all right, you squares. So they thought by me saying square, that's what they say when they talk to each other. What's up, square? What's up, square? Wow. They thought it was a Masonic track.
Nice.
But I was saying it in the funk sense of Rick James. Rick James would say L7 square. Well, all right, it's time to smoke. So I was putting that in because of God Made Me Funky and stuff that they would say. Right. Like now, when you hear all the new stuff that I do, I'm actually doing Bootsy Collins. Everybody, get your groove on. It's time to boogie. Nice. That's something that Bootsy would do.
You know, God made me funky, and I'm glad he made me that way.
I've never been a producer, DJ that gets off on playing all his own stuff. I play it when I make it, test it out until it comes out. Once it's released, I'm on to the next. Otherwise, I'll get caught up in my own rapture. I always tell producers, don't get married to your tracks. Because you're only as good as your next release, not your last release. Your last release will be, oh, I remember that. Man, I was 12 years old when that came out. My brother used to play that. No, I want to be like, man, that joint you just put out is fire. So I want to continue to grow and elevate. My job as a DJ, I feel, is to make those people forget about their problems, forget about their worries, their cares for a couple of hours. Come in, have a good time, enjoy themselves. So I don't get wrapped up in making my sets about me. When I first come into a party, I never make it about me. It's always about the people. And once you master that and learn that and know that, then you'll have longevity. That's why a lot of the younger cats or the old new DJs don't ask me why I'm staying in the game so long. Ask me, how did I stay in the game so long? Nice. When you ask the wrong questions, you get the wrong answers.
This definitely was a good one as well too, though, man. I definitely kind of remember that song, but hearing the whole story about it, honestly, and everything, as well as the backstory of how he came to that what he did with Got Me Phunky, that was pretty good. Other than that, though, if you like my reaction to this, like, share, subscribe to my YouTube channel. It's your boy T signing off. One love.